back to today's episode of Blacksmithing and BibleStudy. We are on episode 25. No fire. No. Keep that out the way. That's what's the camera light. Here we go. Everybody. Tired after an hour. It's going to turn into a cross eventually, but it used to be this. So, just to prove I've done progress, it used to be a piece like this. That's smoking. 1 second, guys. There's something smoking. No, already on fire. Why is there fire back here? For something? Doesn't make any sense. The shop is just dead. Pretty good. Okay, welcome back, guys. Let's talk today about a name given to God very early on in Genesis. Right? His name is Elroy, which directly translates to God who sees. Right? Now, let's get some context to this, and maybe it'll make a little more sense. We're going to open up Genesis chapter 16 and read the whole thing. If I can find the pages, chance. Tiny words, very tiny words. It's dark. That's really bright. Abraham's wife Sarai had not borne any children for him, but she owned an Egyptian slave named Hagar. Sarai said to Abraham, "Since the Lord has prevented me from bearing children, go to my slave, perhaps through her I can build a family." So then Abraham went to Sarai. I'm not going to go back to it, it's ridiculously long. Alright? But so Hagar bears the child for Abraham. Sarai told him to. And then Sarai gets mad because, "Why'd you do that? You told me to." So, it's this whole thing. And then eventually Hagar catches strays all the time. She didn't want to do it. It wasn't her idea. And they abuse her. Sarai starts mistreating her to the point where she runs away. In verse 7. Then the angel of the Lord found her by a spring in the wilderness on the way to Shur. He said, "Hagar, slave of Sarai, where are you going? Where have you come from and where are you going?" She replied, "I am running away from my mistress Sarai." The angel of the Lord said, "Go back to your mistress and submit to her authority." Then he said, "I will greatly multiply your offering. It will be too many to count." The angel of the Lord said, "You will conceive and will have a son. You will name him Ishmael. The Lord has heard your cry of affliction. This man will be like a wild donkey. His hand will be against everyone, and everyone's hand will be against him. He will settle near all his relatives." Not really. And then this is the part I want to get to. So she named the Lord who had spoke to her, "You are Elroy." For she said, "In this place I have actually seen the one who sees me." She says it like a question. She doesn't even believe it herself. Even though she was there and she'd seen it, she doesn't even believe that it's possible for someone to have seen her, something greater than her, so much greater, God, right? To have seen her in this moment. Well, I'm 0.5, it looks like I am. I don't think so. Well, basically, I can't be. Okay, but that alone, she's questioning him. Let's see. God, great being, right, would seek her out in her moment of utter humiliation. I want to think about this, okay? She didn't want to bear this child, right? She's just here to work, right? She's a servant. She's here to work. And they make her bear this child for them. And then they beat her for it. She doesn't want to be here. She's left, right? She's running away in the wilderness. She has nothing. She's a pregnant lady with nothing, right? And the angel of the Lord seeks her out in this darkest moment and says, "I see you." Boom, right? He left the 99 to seek out the one. And not only did he just seek out the one, he didn't seek out the perfect one. If you remember correctly, the only perfect lamb was Jesus Christ. And guess what he did to him? He sacrificed him for us, right? The broken one. We are the crippled lamb. We are the broken, abused lamb, the sick, right? And he sacrificed the perfect lamb for us. All right? I think we can end the lesson there, but I've got a whole lot more to say. He does the same thing for us every day, whether or not you realize it. He's seeking you out, right? It's just, will you listen at the well or will you ignore him, right? Now let's talk about her son. Her son's name, Ishmael. Ishmael also directly translates to something. Ishmael translates to God hears, right? The God who hears is Ishmael, right? God hears. I'm repeating myself here. Hold up. It's 110 degrees in here. I've been out here for 2 hours. Okay. Translates to God hears. Even in her broken state, she's at the lowest point in her life she will ever be at, right? Even now, even then, God is saying, holy cow, that's a big spider. I'm really sorry for the sidetrack. That spider is this big. I'll show him to you at the end of the video. He's this big. I'm gonna shoot that thing. That thing's big, dog. I'm scared. Stay on your web, please. Thank you. Okay, I got completely sidetracked. My bad, but that is a really big spider. Okay, but even in this broken state, God comes and He's like, I hear you. I hear your cries. I'm here to help you bear this unjust punishment. And why should we bear unjust punishment? Right? Why should she bear this child in turn? Why should she go back and still serve under these people? And for that, I ask you to open to 1 Peter chapter 2. I've already got chapter 4 marked, so we're going through the Bible study. And I ask you to open to 1 Peter chapter 2. And there's a billion other places you can find this in. This is the one I saw. And we're going to go to... What do I have on? 19 through 25. I can't read. For it brings favor if because of a consciousness of God, someone endures grief or suffering unjustly. For what credit is there if when you do wrong and are beaten, you endure it? But when you do what is good and suffer, if you endure it, this brings favor with God. Right? For you are called to this because Christ also suffered for you, leaving you an example that you should follow in his steps. He did not commit sin, and no deceit was found in his mouth. When he was insulted, he did not hurl insult back. When he suffered, he did not threaten, but entrusted himself to the one who judges justly. He himself bore our sins in his body on the tree, so that having died to sin, we might live for righteousness. By his wounds you have been healed. For you are like sheep going astray, but you have now been returned shepherd and overseer of your souls. That shepherd is Jesus Christ, that Son of God, right? And I love how it opens there. Why are you moving? Stay still. I'm not joking, guys. The spider's like that big, dog. He's scary. He's walking up and down on his web and his web's going like this. It's scary. I'm catching a 45 when this video's over with. I just want you to know. Oh, never mind. He's catching mosquitoes. He can stay there. Actually, I don't care anymore. I just saw him catch 5 mosquitoes. Thank you. You're a wonderful creature. But as Christians, this world is always going to be against us, right? We're like that spider over there. I just saw him, and I immediately hated him, right? That's what the world is to us. That was perfect, actually. Thanks for the prop. But as Christians, we're like spiders of this world. We're helping it in every way we can. We're getting rid of the mosquitoes, right? I can't think of anywhere other to stretch this other than we're getting rid of the mosquitoes. But we help this world out. We are beneficial to people around us, but still they're going to hate us for it because we are Christian, because we are spiders, right? I think we're running the spider thing out. But we are the lighthouse, right? All we do is warn of danger, and some people are still going to hate us for it because they are of the world. The world rejects what is pure. The world rejects what is of God, right? Back to the video about the fences. When you choose the God side of the fence, you lose everything the devil has to offer, right? But at the same time, if you strike back against the devil in that aggressive way, if you don't bear it with grace as God tells us to, I'm keeping this going to feel really good, it's hot here. But if you strike back, if you lash out, if you trade insult for insult, all you've done is give them ammunition. All right? You're the only Bible people are going to read, right? So are you going to show them a violent Bible? Are you going to show them nothing but the walls of Jericho coming down and not give them the reason why Jericho fell? Are you going to show them Sodom and Gomorrah, the aftermath, but never show them why? Are you going to show them the world covered in water after the flood, but not tell them why the world was flooded? Right? That's what we have to think about when we think of our actions, because guess what? We're never not being watched. There's someone always watching us, right? Even if it's only God, someone is watching. That was a big bow. I need like a one of those bow daggers or something. But I'll end on that. And go. Bear your cross and follow him. Oh, yeah, I need to show y'all the spider. There he is. That's a big heifer. Send help. What, you see him? I'll make sure y'all see him. Yeah, you see him. See him right there? Like, dog. That's scary.